Well, let's dive into this new documentary you got coming up. Basically, I want to learn first how you guys met. 'Cause you guys were both cast members, right? When you met at Disney World, or which park exactly?
Well, unfortunately, yes. Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, we were both. He started with the company in what
98.
98, and I opened Animal Kingdom. So that was like 98. Yeah, that was 98.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So.
But we hadn't known each other at that time.
Yeah, we didn't know each other. And I had gotten into Disney's Doug Live a couple months later in the year. I transferred into Disney's Doug Live over at Studios. And when we were getting canceled, my only option was either leave Disney or go to do entertainment, which would not be equity.
Yeah.
Go in entertainment over at Magic Kingdom. So I was not ready to leave Disney. So I decided, unfortunately, to do entertainment at Magic Kingdom. And so I did. So I was scheduled to do a breakfast over at Chef Mickey's at Contemporary Resort.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we kind of met from there, because it was early in the morning, so we were.
Oh, it was very early.
Yes.
Oh yeah. What was it like? Love at first sight, or did it take a while to like warm up to each other? Or
Oh my God, no. No, this kid was so annoying in the van and in the break room that it was just like you really wanted to tell the coordinator, okay, can you make him sit outside, because he's just.
Well, I'm very shy, but I'm like thinking, oh well, he's kind of cute,
Yeah.
I think, and I was looking for a best friend at the time, but like I just couldn't, like I kept looking at him seriously. I just thinking like, oh, is he a lot like me and things like that. And so finally throughout the shift in the break room, because he was very, very chit chatty, and I looked over and I finally just decided to say something. Like, to me, it was like huge, but,
oh yeah.
But really in all reality context, it was like very small, minimal, but it got his attention, obviously.
It did. It worked itself out. I mean, we have been together for over 21 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just been quite crazy. And we were attempting a Disney fairy tale wedding, but COVID happened and kind of took that away. So we're still planning one, but
awesome.
We did eventually did a small ceremony to make it legal.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, we gave in and out about 17 years of our life with Disney, from Disney World over here to Disneyland in California. So our Disney days now are just contract work. I could not see myself clocking in anymore.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So what we love Disney, obviously. I don't know if I would buy me a getup like that to wear around the parks, but
you should look at my Instagram. I wear lots of crazy outfits, especially the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh my gosh, you're a fan.
I am.
Nice.
So
well, it's
crazy.
interesting you see that, because we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would love that. Yes.
Yeah.
So
very cool. So when did you guys start the podcast? What year for that?
So we started that in 2019. Yes.
Yeah. It was June of 2019. The story behind it is actually quite interesting, because we had just gotten back from Vegas and we had done some work with iHeartRadio before. So our relationship with iHeartRadio, at least in Baton Rouge, was so good that we would just show up just to say hi. So we were showing up to say hi, and we were talking with one of the show directors over there, and she's always been so intrigued with our story, from the stuff that we've done with Disney to the stuff we've done with Universal to, just Hollywood as well. And she goes, just right out of the blue, she's like, you guys really should do a podcast and tell everybody about your life.
Yeah.
And so we looked at her like she was nuts, because we were like, well, what the hell is a podcast?
Like, I don't know.
And she goes, it's shows. It's where you can talk. She goes, you've never listened to one? And I go, sweetheart, we don't even listen to your radio stations.
He actually said that.
And she goes, really? I go, well, I have Sirius XM and online. I don't need to. You have too many commercials. So, so she goes, well, you guys really should do one. So that's where it started. And it was the next day she called and she goes, hey, we're going to set you up with a podcast. Come in about 30 days to record your first episode. And we're like, cool, whatever. So we signed all the paperwork. We got it all done. And then we asked them, we go, so what do we do now? And she goes, well, you have to build a show. And I go, show about what? What do we talk about? And she goes, you need to talk about yourself. It's like, well, how do you start that?
Like,
how do you start talking? Because then you sound like you're talking to yourself. Because can you imagine Willie and I talking about our life together? It's like, so Willie, when did you start doing this? So we,
let's see here.
So we had to brainstorm, and so we were like, all right, well, why don't we do celebrity interviews? Because we know a couple of celebrities in Hollywood, so like let's call our friends and see what we can do. We went through our Rolodex, which of course is a cell phone, and called every single celebrity that we knew. Every single one of them was booked. And we're like, all right, you guys suck. So, and we tried to say, is there anybody that you can find? And like, oh, well, let me know. Well, you know how that happens. They say, let me know, and they never do.
So we decided.
We did research.
Yeah, we did some research. And, what was good for me was that I'm like, let's just reach out to people like in our childhood, like we would either watch them on TV or in movies or something, like, I don't know. So we were both very big Disney Afternoon fans.
Yeah.
And so our first guest is Katie Lee. She was a voiceover on Adventures of Gummy Bears. She was Sunny
bouncing
Gummy.
here and there and everywhere.
Yes,
I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Cool. Who did she voice in there? Yeah.
Sunny Gummy, the yellow one.
Nice.
The youngest one.
Yeah, yes. And then she was also Dumbo in Dumbo's Circus.
The old Dumbo Circus show.
Yes.
Yes. So she agreed to do it. So we're like, all right, we're all set up. We got this going. And so we met with the technicians over at iHeart, and they were going through all this stuff. And we were like, okay. And obviously that stuff just goes over your head because I don't know anything about it. So I'm like, all right, well, then you just do it and just tell me what you need me to do. And so the day we were scheduled to do the thing with Katie, she calls in before we started recording. She goes, so tell me how this works, because I've never done interviews before. And we're like,
what?
Yeah. We're like, okay, well, we're just going to ask you a lot of questions. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
We got her to do a lot of the voiceovers, and she went through a lot of the behind the scenes. And and
we even got it to where, like I asked her a question, which I thought, oh my gosh, but it actually threw her off, but in a good way though. And I had asked her about, I think the question was about, what would Sunny Gummy do like right now in current day? Because to me, it was very important. It's they're celebrities or they act out parts and do voiceovers. But like me, I really want the backstory, the character, like outside of the script, so to speak. How would they view, that character? And she went and she answered it. And I was very, very happy with the response.
Yeah, she went right into it, right into character. And she would even do the voiceover of it. And it was just quite cool. And she ended our show with doing the voiceover of Dumbo from Dumbo Circus.
Yeah.
And, so it was so nice. And so we got the ratings in from that, and they were kind of impressed because we started getting thousands of followers. And so they go, all right, well, let's just keep going. So we're like, so here we are still trying to figure out. Now we're expected to do celebrities. So we started, well, first Katie had so much fun that she had called a lot of the people that she knew. And we started getting phone calls from old Disney executives that helped create Disney Channel, and so they wanted to be on our show. So we started interviewing them. We actually interviewed
name me some names. I'll definitely probably recognize some.
What was his name?
Shoot, why can I can't?
Gosh, it was so old. But
he was a Disney Channel executive.
He was a Disney Channel executive. He was actually in charge. He created the Goof Troop, I think it was.
Nice.
Tailspin. He created a lot of those things, and
Disney Afternoon ones.
Disney Afternoon, and he created Gummy Bears. And it was funny because at the time he had worked for the studio before Eisner came in, and he worked when the transition of Stop.
Sorry, I was looking it up.
He had come in. He had come in with when Eisner was transitioning, and he was telling us, he goes, there was one afternoon Eisner had invited me and some other guys to his house, and so they had Willie.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim Magon. That
Yes,
was his
that's
name.
his name.
There we go. Yes,
Yes.
there we go. There we go. Our lovely assistant, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah. So anyway, and he had said that they were sitting in a meeting and his kid walked in and he was eating gummy bears. So Michael Eisner took the bag of gummy bears, gave it to Jim, and said, "Okay, make me a series out of gummy bears."
Oh, is that how it started?
That's how it started. So they went through. So he went through a lot of different history with it. We interviewed Raleigh Crump.
Yes.
Another great Disney legend who helped build Disneyland and some of their classic
alongside
attractions.
with Walt Disney. I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Wow.
And so we got a lot of different stories about Walt Disney himself and Disneyland, and of course we asked questions about what he thought about Disney World, and so it was very monumental. And so we've had him, we did a lot of the all new Mickey Mouse Club that filmed here at the studios, MGM at the time. We interviewed quite a few cast members from that show, and I got that experience with it. And so we had quite a few. And
a lot of them were just at this event recently that supported Give Kids World. It's called Disney's Family Reunion. I don't know, were you guys at that by any chance?
No.
Yeah, they had a little reunion there, so it was cool.
That's so cool. I always told them I think that they need to go on a tour.
Yes.
I really do. Getting all those old Mickey Mouseketeers back together and doing some type of a show, and I think it would be so great because we had Lindsay Alley on the show, and she's so funny, and she actually was doing a tour at the time that was revolved around her being a Mouseketeer, but she would sing Disney songs, but she'd put her own language in there. So it would be a little bit more adult oriented in a sense, but yeah.
I would dig that.
Yes. Oh, and you could actually see some of it on YouTube if you go type Lindsay Alley and you can find it. But yeah, we just started finding different people, and where our fame started was Alan Gilmore.
Yes.
We had called we had called a friend. We had worked with him because we worked with the openings of Harry Potter here on this side of the country as well as the other side of the country. And I called Alan and I said, "Hey, look, I know you don't do very many interviews. Would you do an interview for us?" And he goes, "Well, NBC has been trying to get this interview for me for the longest time." So he goes, I'll give it to you guys. So
you guys got this, please.
We got because at the time they were opening Hagrid's over the motor coach ride. And so we got that. And after that, we went from just a few thousand to double digits and thousands.
I can only imagine. That's huge.
And it went. And so the CEO of iHeartRadio called us and congratulated us.
Yes.
Yeah, he congratulated us.
That is huge. Wow.
And it's funny because the lady over at the studio that we met that started all this, she got so mad. She went after that phone call. She's like, "I have never gotten a call from the CEO, and I have been here for 15, 20 years, and you've just been here for I don't know how many days, and he calls you." So yeah, it just went from there, and we went from a couple episodes to well over 50 episodes, a celebrity, a show. And now it's like we get tons of emails with celebrities wanting to be on our show.
That's amazing.
We get networks that we sign with that says you get exclusive access to our newer shows to to do press stuff of our newer shows. So,
and the one thing that that we both really enjoy about it is that even after the interview is done with, like either they'll stay on to chat with us a little bit longer, or they'll just call us back and just have a chit chat. They're like, "I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for having me on your show."
Yeah.
And the premise of our show, basically, it's not like an interview format. It's
Mhm.
more like we're right there in your living room and we're talking with you.
Just
yeah.
a conversation. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a general
yes.
conversation. It's so much fun because I tell you the best story we have. We interviewed Fran Drescher.
Yes.
And we love Fran.
We love
We
Fran, yes.
absolutely love Fran. She came on and the interview started and she started talking about a bee. And she went for a good couple of minutes talking
Mhm.
about a bee to the point to where we had to stop her and we go, what the hell are you talking about? And she goes, I got stung by a bee. And I'm like, all that for you got stung by a bee. So it was quite funny because she didn't realize that she was rambling because we were just listening.
We
And
were
we were just like, okay,
Yeah.
do we tell her that she's talking to us about something that we have no idea? How do we do? So that's when we started knowing that they have so much fun when they come on the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
because we just let them talk. And
Yeah. Mhm.
but
Very
that is
cool.
the absolute best story is that freaking bee. So every time
Yeah,
I see
the
a
bee.
bee,
All right,
I
I'm gonna look that up.
yeah,
So your podcast is called "What About Our Life." It's
Our
on
Life.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
So everyone look it up. So cool. So obviously it's pretty amazing how this little podcast just snowballed into this thing that it is. So then now you got this documentary now that's coming out later this month in select theaters. How did that get started? You know, was it a bee or something else? That's
Well, you know what? Maybe, maybe we did get stung. I don't know. Well, it's funny because the transition came again about fans.
Yes.
The
yes.
fans were also intrigued about our story that we do with the different celebrities, and sometimes we talk about our personal life that they wanted more. And
Mhm.
then we would get emails from fans to where they would ask us questions on how do we deal with this? How do we handle
Yes,
this? Or they're
yes.
going through this, and they found comfort in us. So they would reach out to us for certain topics. So at that time, we had got an offer from a company that wanted to tell our story more. And we brainstormed with them everything with a mini series to a book to
Mhm.
a reality show and so forth. So finally, it got down to the point to where here we are. We wanted to do the documentary, but we wanted to do it story based.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah, kind of like
Um,
you do in your podcast, kind of, you know.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So at that time, iHeart again had gotten a hold that we were in this conversation. They jumped into the conversation and say, hey, we're interested in looking at this. So they introduced us to another company that started brainstorming with us on it. And so the original company that started doing the concept, we obviously dropped their offer to go with the company that stuck with more of what we wanted, traditional Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah.
You're in my
Yeah.
mind.
So we did, but the one thing that we made clear was I want total control.
Yes.
I don't want you coming to me and telling me how to write my story. I don't want you coming to tell me how to build this story,
Mhm.
what to say, what not to say. And so it kind of came upon that as far as here, tell your full story
Mhm.
and tell about your life. Go deeper than you would on your show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we did. And
Mhm.
believe it or not, we have 13 different versions of the movie.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
We could never.
Well,
So there'll be like an extenders cut at some point, maybe.
You know,
or something like that?
maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we could never be satisfied
Yeah.
with the right
Yeah.
one. I mean, and half of that was the pandemic's fault
'Cause we had
because
time,
we had
you
time,
know.
and so so we did. But we all the footage is our footage. It's our original
Yes.
footage. We had when we first got together. One of the biggest things that we had both talked about is for some reason we wanted to write our journals.
Yeah.
So we were like, here, let's write about our life. And as we get older together and grow together. So
Mhm.
fortunately, here we are. That journal that we started became what we could use for our movie. And that was journals even from we took video footage from the old flip phones, which is the
Yeah.
most garbage type of flip phone you can
Wow,
find.
you still have that footage? Wow.
Yes,
we do.
We
I
have
never
that.
noticed
Yeah.
We also have VHS cassettes. You remember the handheld camcorders?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
that.
Let's see, I still have one of my old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You guys
so
remember
fun.
this one, the sidekick?
Yes, we still have a couple of those.
We have
Yep,
them.
yep,
Yep. Or do you remember the really tiny, they're like this size, but they were the flip ones that went vertical.
Oh yeah, I had that
Yeah.
before.
So we took
Yeah.
we took video footage from all of that we had, and then we did that over the course of the years of our life, not knowing that we'd come back and revisit it.
Mhm.
Then over the course of the years, we would do mock interviews. Like if there was a certain topic we wanted to talk about, then we would go in another room and we would
Mhm.
record ourselves talking about it. And so we used that. We used drone footage for external filming.
Yes.
And then we teamed up with a company overseas to
Mhm.
provide us with different types of other footage and actors to provide us with scenes that we couldn't film or didn't film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then we
gotcha.
teamed-
Yeah.
Yeah, we teamed with
It's like kind
another
of like
company.
recreating something you guys are talking about.
Yes,
That's cool.
exactly.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we teamed with another company that provided us with over 60,000 songs to listen to
Yeah.
go in for the music. So we spent plenty of time listening to music.
Mhm.
And then it just kind of built itself from there. So we wrote it, we directed it, we
Personally handpicked
everything was
song.
personally
Yep.
it was totally done. We did everything to it.
Yeah.
We did case studies where we would have people come in and watch it and tell us, their thoughts on it, from doctors to lawyers to ordinary couples to
Mhm.
even we even had a couple that brought their
Families.
kids to it. And the one thing that we learned from it is that we knew what we were doing when we got the reactions.
Mhm.
And the one story we always tell is the one of the little girls who's like 5 years old. She was watching the film. The fact that we got the kids to watch a 2-hour film and sit down and not move was incredible.
Oh geez, I got 2 kids. It's really hard.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
really, really
They have to
hard.
ask for their phone.
It was really, really hard. And so we managed to get that done. And then in the middle of it, she just started screaming. And so we couldn't figure out why. And
Yeah.
her mother pulled her in the back and she had said, "Why are they hurting him?" So she understood the film. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, perfect. And then executives started watching the film, publicists started watching the film, and the reactions were all the same. They couldn't get through the film because it hurt too much.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, well, we have this dynamic story. Then we released it and Disney allowed us to do a premiere over at AMC here at Disney World.
Oh, I
And-
wish I knew about that. I would have loved
Yes,
to.
yes.
Yeah.
It happened in May,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and
Okay.
the tickets were free, of course. They went so fast.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the response that we got, even from people that we didn't know, was all the same. They're like, "Thank you so much for opening this up, that we've been dealing with this for our entire life and nobody wanted to talk about it." And
Mhm.
it was just amazing. We had one guy that was watching the film and we didn't know who he was. He was with a friend of ours
Yeah.
that she used to be our old landlord, actually.
Oh wow.
She brought her husband, which we had never met. And in the middle of it, at a particular scene, he got up and went to the wall. And so
Yeah.
we walked to find out what was wrong. He goes, "I can't handle this. This is too much."
Oh.
And we were like, "Oh, wow. Okay." So then we brought it to Baton Rouge and did a screening in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Whole totally different territory over there.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I can only imagine.
The responses were the same.
Yeah.
They were
Uh-huh.
exactly the same. And people loved it. Was very heartfelt. People were in tears, people were laughing,
Yeah.
people were just having a great time. And
I
so
mean, and with that particular one, we had teenagers who had showed up to that one and nurses who had went and seen it. And the teenagers came up to us and they're like, thank you. Like this
Yeah.
helped me so much. And to me, I guess is if you can reach out to kids and teenagers and they
Oh,
feel
yeah.
the music and they get the message, we've done it correctly.
yeah, we've done it correctly. We had a federal attorney that came and watched it, to the point she loved it so much that we had gotten calls from Harvard and different universities wanting to do case studies of the film and for their psychology students. So it's gone from
Wow.
this. Yeah, it really has
Well,
grown
yeah.
to now here we are discussing Oscar submission.
Yes.
That it's been like, you need to submit this, you need to submit this. So we're really working with our team to kind of get this out there. And it's just it's been great.
Well, I mean, personally, I mean, all the awards and whatever accomplishments you've gotten through this, but to have the case study thing and then you see teenagers relate to it, I mean,
Yes.
that's the biggest reward, I think, Lisa. That's amazing.
Agree.
So
I
what
think-
exactly do you guys talk about in there? I mean, you guys told me about your life story so far. It seems like a lot of highs with these celebrities and other stuff, but I see you probably had a lot of struggling probably growing up, I assume, right?
yes.
You probably talk about in this that we can all relate to.
Well, we do.
Yes.
We do. It's very it's kind of really, I mean, I talk a lot about what I went through as a kid and growing up as the stuff that I kind of go through now. But the real main subject that the film is about is really kind of his story. And, you know, unfortunately, Willie deals with mental abuse and, you know, mental illness that was caused on by his parents. And the unfortunate side of it is when your parents disown you, you would think that's the end of it, that it's done. You know, they don't want to have nothing else to do with you. That was never the case with him. They disowned him, but they kept making sure that they were in his life every single day to push it. So
jeez,
they would never stay out of his life to the point to where he dealt with hospital visits.
But basically it just got to the point to where if you were to say enough's enough, no, it went further than that, to where yes, it did lead to hospitalization. It went to where it was just I was not coherent. What's really bothering too is that, you know, even at the hospital, and my parents had drove like 12 hours, but the thing is, though, they didn't rush to come see me. And even at that point, they just, they wouldn't change.
Wow.
And it's, I mean, I have even like documentation from throughout the years of what I've gone through. And it's heartbreaking just to even for people to listen to it.
I mean, we cover about,
and I think it's very brave that you at least bring it up, because a lot of people go through similar stuff but won't talk about it. You know, it's so, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And you know, we have over 30 different topics as it was presented to us that we bring up, everything from bullying to, you know, issues with family, religion and image and everything that you can imagine that are problems to us. And one of the biggest fears that, of course, I have is the fear of death. And so when national tragedies happen, you can imagine how the mind starts to set with that. So we showcase a lot of national tragedies, and we discuss how that affects or how that affected us and how we kind of moved from it. And then we go in from the struggles to the survival to how we went through it, how we got through it, and even through all the different suicidal attempts, that this is how we overcame it, and this is what we had to do. And so it does have a happy ending.
It does.
Yes.
But it showcases a lot of personal points, and it's not really about, as it's been said, it's not really about the LGBTQ community as a whole, because ordinary people relate to those problems as well. So
absolutely. I mean, I've dealt with bullying, you know, born of a speech impediment, and it was all, you know. So I mean, I think we're all humans. We all can relate to everything we've gone through. You know?
Absolutely. So it covers, that's the basis of it. It's basically our survival. It's the once upon a time that we wanted a person in our life that was our beginning, and we went through that life together, and we incorporated, well, we didn't incorporate, but we ran into villains that we had to fight out, and we went through the drama, and we had to survive it, which would become our story. And then at the end, it was the happily ever after. We made it, you know. This is where we go from here.
I know the title for it. It says Chris and Will, the real Prince Charming.
Yes.
Great.
Well, we got quoted from Podcast Magazine, quoted as last year the Prince Charmings of podcasting.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, so Hollywood's obviously taking that title and saying, "Oh, congratulations, you're now going to be referenced as
All
this."
right, I guess you're gonna both have to cosplay as a Prince
I
Charming.
know, I know, right?
I'm all for that.
Yes. So yeah, but yeah, it's the title matches so perfectly. It's a fairy tale. I mean, you don't want to say that it well, it kind of is. It's a fairy tale that was real. And you know, we both went to that happiest place on earth. We worked at the happiest place on earth. The happiest place on earth gave us our happiness, and we found that happiness there, and we carried it on, and we went through it all. It was necessary but hard.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, everyone is got select theaters coming up. I think in New York, Chicago, Vegas, LA, San Francisco.
Yes.
Then I think it gets more release on November 12th, right?
Yes. It's gonna be, we're doing special mental awareness screenings across the country, all the way up until November 12th, actually. And
are you at these screenings or
yes.
Yes.
Oh, very
we
cool.
are out. Yeah, we are at these screenings, and the big red carpet events will be LA and New York, of course. And after the 12th will be the official worldwide release, to where it will be select limited theaters across the nation. And then from there, it will eventually go into streaming, and then it'll go international by spring of next year.
Awesome. We can get tickets, info for the documentary, your podcast, everything's at chrisandwill.com.
Yeah,
guys, can we go to Disney World sometime together? I would love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.